Alright, how's it going everybody? So today, we are going to be going over why I'm becoming a hunter main. Yes, I just said that. I am going to become a hunter main. At least for a while. And the main reason is because warlock sucks. And, you know, this is a big thing for me to say, because, you know, I've been a warlock main for a while. A long time, as a matter of fact. And it's hard to say. It's hard to say that warlock sucks, but warlock sucks. And we're gonna go over why. Well, fishing. So let's get fishing. You know, I always say there's two guarantees in life. Death and having a good time fishing. So let's get fishing. Oh my god, look at all the people fishing. Please don't tell me that there's a public event here. Good. Alright, we're at the fishing spot. Ow. Alright, now we're at the fishing spot. Alright, pretty good pond as well. So, let's see, I guess let's get started on why. Oh, I caught an exotic fish immediately! Okay, that's a good, you know, telling about how this is gonna go. So I guess, how do we even start this? I don't think Warlock is that good, outside of, like, Well of Radiance and maybe, like, a few builds. And, you know, that sucks to say because I'm a Warlock main. I've been maining Warlock for a long time. I've the majority of my hours on Warlock, but I just can't say that Warlock is good. Their damage supers are terrible. The only good PvE super, realistically, is Well of Radiance. Broodweaver is okay, but the damage is not particularly great, and it's kind of inconsistent. Like, I was doing damage testing yesterday, and it was doing pretty bad damage, while, you know, Aztecross could do damage with it, and then he got, like, pretty good damage with it, and it's like, you know, we did the exact same thing. It's just inconsistent, you know. I'm trying to think of any other super on Warlock that's good for PvE. The Stasis super, Winter's Wrath, is pretty good. But at the same time, it's a roaming super on a kind of mid-subclass, except for, like, Bleak Watcher. I guess, you know what, too, Chaos Reach is not that bad this season. With Thunderous Retort, it's not bad. You can do some good damage with it. But it still takes, like, a million years to use. Well, you know, I could have thrown a Nova Bomb and been DPSing. Had Nova Bomb been good, I'd like to see a Chaos Reach rework where it just, like, it's a, you know, the Eye of Riven, where you use the Eye of Riven super and it does, like, a big thing, where you just do that and it's like a huge laser fucking blast and it, you know, only takes like a second to pop. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be actually really cool. But overall, outside of Well of Radiance, Warlocks are basically, no, I'm not gonna say useless, but I'm not gonna say that they're very helpful. Like, their Sunbracers are good. I mean, they're the fastest class, I would say. By far, they're the fastest class in the game, with, you know, Well Skating and Warlock Jump being just... Personally, I actually like Warlock Jump the best. I think that if you're good at the game, Warlock Jump is by far the best, just by, like, the pure speed that you can get. So, you know, it's good in speedrunning and all that, but ultimately, what are, like, the super meta builds outside of Well? I mean, you have the one on Strand with, like, Necrotic Grips and like, you eat your nade and you get Weaver's Trance and you use Osteostriga. But what can that do that my Forbearance can't in, like, 2 shots? So it's kind of hard to justify that being, you know, particularly good, or not particular, or not, like, good, but, like, justify that being better than any of the alternatives. Bleak Watcher is useful in some stuff, but ultimately it's only Bleak Watcher. And then even so, Strand is not far behind. So I just find it hard to justify using... Holy fuck, this video is especially bad on the rambling. Hello there, Editor Foamy here. Let me just summarize what I am trying to say here. Warlock isn't necessarily bad as much as it's outshined by the other classes. It's pretty bad with, like, solo stuff outside of course, speedrunning, because it's the fastest class in the game, and that's a simple fact. However, it's just simply outshined in most ways. Like, of course, there are good builds on Warlock. The subclasses aren't bad. Well, I mean, depends on the subclass. But if you're gonna go in the comments and say, you're stupid, you're on meth if you think that Warlock is bad, just look at Strand. And I'm not saying Strand is bad on Warlock. It's good. It's just outshined by the other classes, and why would I use Warlock Strand when I could use, like, Titan Strand or Hunter Strand or like other subclasses on Hunter or Titan? This is this is purely my opinion for the most part. Like, I'm listing out objective things for a subjective thing, if that makes sense. Anyways, back to the video. So it sucks because I love Warlock. I've only played Warlock for like a long time. Well, maybe not like only, but I play Warlock most of the time. So switching over to Hunter, I talk a lot of shit about Hunter, and everybody knows that. So it's substantial. It's substantial. Start public event. Oh no. Oh, why game? Why? Oh, I don't give a I don't give a fuck. I do not give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go dunk these while this public event is going on. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah. Now, of course, there are going to be people who say, like, oh, look at this, though. This proves your point wrong. And they're going to show, like, a Heat Rises build with sun bracers and, you know, they're up in the air and they get their sun bracers back immediately. And, like, I already said, sun bracers are fantastic, and they're like, one of the only good things on Warlock. But still, what does that do that my Forbearance doesn't already do? Like, that does fantastic damage. The Sunbracers, I can tell you, Sunbracers do fantastic damage. But, like, for ad clear, my Forbearance already does that better than your Sunbracers. And of course, all other subclasses on other classes are, you know, still are probably worse than Forbearance, but they have something other to offer than just ad clear. Like, the only other thing Warlock has to offer is Well of Radiance, and of course Well of Radiance is the best super in the game by far, but like if Well of Radiance gets nerfed, Warlocks effectively have nothing. I want to go a little bit more in depth about a few things that annoy me about Warlock, and why I think that Warlock is significantly worse than the other two classes, and this is at least for me personally, these are, you know, the two things. So number one would be for solo shit, and number two would be the damage supers. And just like supers in general. So I know that there's probably going to be somebody who comes around and posts a video of them, of course, with the Sunbracers build again. And then probably also another build, which, you know, you could probably do better with the Forbearance. Warlocks are fast, of course, don't get me wrong. I've said this again, speedrunning is probably the best on Warlocks. However, for general solo shit, Warlocks are kind of pitiful in comparison. I'm not saying they're useless. I'm not saying that you can't solo shit on Warlocks. You can. It's not hard, but compared to Solar Titan and Arc Hunter, it's not even a comparison. I think that all of the damage supers on Warlock are except for, I guess, Well of Radiance. I mean, Well of Radiance can qualify as a damage super. It's more of like a support super, but it's, you know, I think it's more of a support super. But all of the damage supers on Warlock suck. They're all bad. Needle Storm can be good if it's consistent. Once in a blue moon, but for the most part, except for Chaos Reach right now, all of the damage supers on Warlock are mid. Nova Bomb, both of the Nova Bombs do shit damage. Broodweaver is inconsistent. Chaos Reach takes too long to pop normally, and, you know, the thing that increases the damage of it only extends the time. You know, that'd be a good buff to Geomags, is make it so it doesn't extend the time. Make it so that it makes it do more damage. Nova Bomb is so unfathomably mid. So unfathomably shit. So inconceivably bad that you could give it a 100% buff, and only then would it be like meta. A 100% buff. A 2 times buff. Is that right? Or am I like really stupid with math here? Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. But yeah, 100% buff, which just, I mean, that says a lot. I mean, for what Bungie considers to be a super that's like an identity of Destiny. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go fuck yourself.